Okay. We are here. Well, that's a lot of stuff to set up. There's a lot of softwares involved with trying to get this thing to stream on a bunch of different platforms. I would like to say it was, well, it was easier when I was just using Facebook for this years ago. And then just through meeting Ken, he's a digital guy like me. And I love this kind of stuff. He's just showing me some softwares where you can, like, stream to basically every platform there is all in one shot without me having to, like, record it, put it into a drive, edit it, send it out to a VA that messes it around with it, makes it look really good, takes the wrinkles off my face, and then sends it back out to all the platforms. That takes, like, the turnaround time on that's like 5 or 6 days at least. Where here, with the proper setups, we can go live right now and basically stream the information to everybody. It's absolutely incredible what you can do with software. That being said, I just wanted to go on. I did a poll the other day, and I said, how can I help you the most? I put up 4 topics. One of them was funding, which I love the funding aspect of it, especially private funding. The most popular one was how we can source the deals. So sourcing the deals has always came pretty easily for me. Once like I said, I'm kind of a software nerd that way. Once you understand how to use the softwares and what softwares to what softwares to use and what to look for in those softwares, it actually is quite easy. Probably, which is more difficult, is sorting out the deals that are online that look good and the ones that are going to actually cash flow or make you money, compared to how they're written by the realtor. Their job is to sell the property. The owner's job is to sell the property as fast as they can for as much money as they can. So as the buyer or the investor, we have to be able to decipher what's the good deal for us and what isn't. And that's where I feel like having a good vision of what you're capable of, your geographical area of where you're willing to go, where your contacts are, where your networks are, and then of course what your ceiling is for as far as funding. So let's I'll show you the first one, and the most popular is realtor.ca. I'm just going to share my screen and I'll show you here if I can figure out how. Okay. All right. I hoping that you okay. Actually, what I'll do is I'll share my complete screen. So let me get rid of this. Okay, so here, perfect. Here we are. So first, this is realtor.ca. You just type it in your URL at the top, and that seems easy for me, but I'm amazed at how many people, when we're on calls, don't even quite understand how to do that. So www.realtor.ca, and then you're going to go to and then it's not a knock on you if you don't know how to do that. That's just the top bar right here is called the URL. You're going to type in, wherever you want to go, whatever site you want to go to. So for right now, for me, I live in Port Elgin, and that's exactly where I'm sticking to. The nice thing with Realtor is it has the map function. So I'll just give it a minute when it pulls up. Uh, with the map, basically zoom out to the size that I want to look at. So right now, you'll see that it's just basically on Port Elgin and a little bit of the surrounding area. If I zoom my screen out, it will actually pull listings from whatever is on my screen. So you'll see where it's pulled them all up. And then there's a number that will pop up. So 299 listings, if you look on the left, that's how many listings is on that map right there. So if I wanted to, for me, let's look a little bit. Owen Sound's a pretty good market if you're looking for flipping. They've got some pretty decent deals. It's easier to get funding there, definitely, because it's the population and lenders are a little bit more apt to lend there. I actually know a couple people that will lend there just for the fact of the population and because of where it is in relation to the GTA. So okay, so if we pull up the ones in Owen Sound, I'll click on them. 123 listings. All you need to do is pop on the little tags and it'll show you. So there's 29 in this area, 4 here, and then you'll see results 489 on the side of the map. So then I go over here to the right and I click on list, and then by default it always pops them up. So you can see it's popped up whatever's in that map. So in the map was 489 listings. You'll see by default it always pops up sort by newest. Now I used to, about 2 years ago, used to always look at the newest. Now I still do now because I watch this. I probably pull this up 4 or 5 times a day. And I know Sarah does the same because I see her on her phone doing it. So with that being said, for me, I use the newest function now because I know I watch the listings so much. I know exactly which listings are online. So I know if a new listing's popped up just because I'm consistent in watching them. If you're just getting started, I don't expect you to know those yet. I didn't in the beginning. So how I filter them is I go lowest price, because if you're just getting into flips, I don't want to get into the flips that are like, for this market particularly, I don't want to get into like the $700,000-800,000 purchase price and then have to go put another 100,000-300,000 into it. I'm into this place for $1 million. It's my first flip. I got the carrying cost of $1 million. If it doesn't sell in a few months or the renovations take longer, now I'm trying to sustain the carrying cost for $1 million at private money. It's like 10 to 20% interest for a year. And it's too stressful if you're just getting started. My recommendation is to just get into a deal that's like plus it's very hard to find money for that amount when you're first starting out. Find a deal that's like 300,000 to 600,000, say. And I know that, you're like, oh, I might not have that in my immediate area. You need to go outside your immediate area. If you live in downtown Toronto, you're not going to find something for 600,000. You're going to need to go outside the GTA and get your feet wet with that. Don't try to jump into it if you're just starting. A friend of mine, Dom, I know him through the syndicate. He's a very experienced carpenter. He's a contractor. He's a renovator. He develops. It's nothing for him to get into $1 million project. He's not going to lose sleep over it. But if you're just getting started, probably not the best avenue. So now that I've pulled it up 489 listings, what you're going to see is $1, 40,000 empty lot. And then these ones here are always, they get me, or they get everybody, 155,000. What a good deal. You have to look what they are. So a lot of these are on the native land and they're leased land. So that brings me up to my next point. You want to go to filters, and I always put price point. So you're not going to find a decent place to flip for under 250, I would say, in this market. Okay. So I would go minimum price 250. Sometimes I'll go 200, but I never really find anything there. But this is just going to get rid of the empty lots and the leased land and the trailer park stuff. And the, if you're looking at commercial, it will pull up businesses for sale, and it's not going to give you exactly what you're looking for. So let's just say we'll go from 200 to 500 today. Okay. So that would be good if you're just getting into flip. Now, property type, I leave any. The key is when you come down here to ownership title, I want to go to freehold. I definitely don't want to have leasehold. Those are on leased lands, too hard to get funding. I know somebody that's in one of those deals right now and they're having a heck of a time getting out of it. So I go freehold. If you're looking for condos, go right to condos. But where I am, I know there's not a lot of condos. Plus, I'm not really looking at condos right now. If you're looking at condos, Simon Yan's got that program really, really figured out, really dialed in. Yeah. And then if you want to get really creative, you can do keywords. A lot of times the keywords I'll write like as is, or investors, perfect for investors, or VTB because I'm looking for seller financing. But let's just leave it today very simple. So search. And you're going to notice from the 489 listens I would have had to go through. I'm now down to 95 just because I use the filter function. So, these are all great. There are a lot of vacant land. Here's probably a lot. Vacant land. Okay, here we go. Chatsworth is like a town that's about 15 minutes outside of Owen Sound. This actually looks like a pretty good flip. I haven't looked at it in person, but I wouldn't recommend going and buying it without you need to walk it. It's just like I don't know, some people may buy them. I would never buy a place without my feet being inside the building or having somebody like a general contractor or somebody who I really, really trusted go and walk the property. My brother, he's in Niagara. If he called me and said he's got a deal and he went and walked it and he says, yeah, it's good, we should go on it, then that's fine. But other than that, it's like I don't really know if I would trust anybody enough in this point that I have worked with close enough that I would go on a property. But this is a great little flip. I've been kind of watching this. Chatsworth is a town about 15 minutes outside of Owen Sound, and it's probably not the hottest market, but here's the thing. It's 275,000. The next KPI that I look for, or key performance indicator I posted on my social media a while back, is this: days on market. I don't know where it is on the web platform. Let me see here. That right here, time on realtor or days on market is what I call it. So this thing's been on the market for 51 days, and I'm not 100% sure, but this may have been a relisting. So it's been on 51 days. These people have been holding it. You can tell by the pictures that it's empty. So, if they own it outright, great. They're just paying taxes and minimal utilities. But look at this little gem. Like, this thing needs a once over hardcore, and it's been online for 51 days. So you're not, you don't want to have, days on market one, because you're going to be battling with other people and the sellers just put it on. So they're going to be looking to get like, oh, okay, we got an offer right away. If you're looking for investing, you're definitely, you may get good deals because you scoop them right away. But most times I find if you want to get a good deal, you need to get it either before it hits the market or when it's been sitting on the market for a few months. And I don't know. I've been kind of watching this thing. So let's go through it. We got some pictures. If you want to talk about it later, you can shoot me a PM. It kind of, just by like quick looks, it looks like it would suit the bill for a flip. So the thing with this is it's 275. It's been on the market for 51 days. They're going to want to get rid of it. Like I said in the beginning, the broker wants it gone and the seller wants it gone. So if they want 275, I would come in with just like off the top of my head, I would come in at like 200, say. Well, they may not. There's a whole webinar, whole training on how to negotiate. So I'm just throwing easy numbers out there. So let's say you get it for 200,000. Yeah, it's in the middle of nowhere. Well, it's 10 or 15 minutes from Owen Sound. If you're a mom and dad and you're just starting out with a family, one or two kids, you're not going to get into the housing market for under 400,000, say, like at least 400,000. If you got this place for 200,000, you put another 100,000 into it, new kitchen, couple new baths, did some landscaping, new siding, just give it a once over, new appliances, made it look new. You got 400, you're into it for 300,000 and you relist it for 450, say 300,000 plus 25,000 carrying costs and legal costs and whatnot. You're into it for, say, so you'd be 350, you say 325, you list it for 425 or 450 and you end up walking away with 400, that's a $75,000 upswing. And that they're with the right contractors and the right planning with very little experience, that should take no longer than 90 days, I would think, if there's no issues. So now you've made, and then say it takes another 2 months to sell. So you're into this thing for 5 months and you just made $75,000. There's really not a lot of jobs that you're going to make that without a super high skill. So this is something that's like completely easy to do. And that's how you find the deals. That deal I happened to be looking at and it just popped up. I had actually forgot about it. But the desirable thing with that is it's catering to a young family who is just trying to get in the market, mom and dad trying to work and get ahead, using their incomes of 50, 60,000. They've both got car notes, car loans. They might have some credit card debt. They might be able to get with a B lender. They're not going to qualify for $600,000, $800,000, which is like the average price right now. I think it's like $730,000 for a house in this area. So, this is going to get them in, at least into the market, have a place that they're not renting. I would assume that if they're paying rent, like, market rent right now, their mortgage payment is going to be probably not much more than what they're paying in rent. So that right there makes that deal appealing. Now, you don't have to deck it right out and make it look perfect. What I would do with this is and I'm kind of getting off topic of how to find deals, but I would make this all brand new inside. It doesn't have to be the nicest, best stuff on the market, but it needs to be new. Mom and dad need to walk in and say, okay, we can just raise our family here. This place has got new appliances, stainless preferably. Well, it has to be stainless. New appliances, new floors. The windows look kind of newer. It's got a good roof. It's got good bones. It's got good structure. they can start building their family from there and building equity in their house and live and be parents without having to, basically sink themselves in debt to try to get into the housing market and out of the rental market. So that right there's a perfect example of how I would find deals. The second way of how I find deals, Facebook. Not that I sit and look at my own Facebook there that just popped up. I was trying to make sure it actually worked. Facebook, I basically go to Marketplace, and you'll see all the things I'm looking at buying: MacBook Pros and Lamborghinis. I'm not trying to buy a Lamborghini. I would never buy a Lamborghini. Gold necklaces, and then I just look for houses near me. And here we are. Well, for some reason, it's pulling up Hamilton and Burlington. It must have. Oh, I think I have my settings. Yeah. So if you again, you're going to have to go filters. My location is Owen Sound. And then radius, I don't want to, this goes back to what I said in just the intro there. I don't want to be working 800 kilometers from Owen Sound. I don't want to be driving and sending my contractors an hour there, an hour home. It's like you're just wasting money and time. So let's go 10 kilometers from Owen Sound. Apply. Bam. Deals. Now, most of these deals, you're going to see them on MLS as well, or Realtor as well. However, the odd time you'll find deals that are not on Realtor. So rather than sitting and scrolling on your phone at Facebook and look at your neighbor's cat licking its balls, don't do that. Why waste time doing that when you can go on here and literally just scroll through this? Oh, here we go. House for sale by owner. Look at that. So as soon as I see a house and this one I actually looked at, I don't know too much about it. I haven't really got too far into it. It just came up a little while ago. The first thing I do, and it's creepy, but this is what I do. I go to the person to make sure it's legit, because you never know. There's a lot of scams. And I see, okay, she's from here, blah, blah, blah. Oh, well, she does quilting and stuff. Probably a really honorable person. Who quilts that's not honorable? Honorable people quilt. That's what I've found. And then here we are. Now, the problem with this listing is, I believe, if I remember right, there's only one picture, and that's the picture. So now you're going to have to get proactive. Okay. You're going to have to reach out. Hey, Linda, send her a message. And when I send her a message, I don't just type it on my phone really fast with no punctuation. I'll say, hey, Linda, my name's Jesse. I'm a real estate investor. I tell them where I live, so they know I'm not from, Calgary, or I'm not from Toronto trying to take their house. Hey, I live in Port Elgin. I'm 20 minutes from you. I'm 30 minutes from you. I'm trying to find a house that's in your area. My wife and I are real estate investors. We're looking to add some experience and something to our portfolio. Would you be interested in talking more? We think your house might fit the bill, but we need to see some more pictures, and let's talk about it. And from my experience, they'll either answer right away, or it will take a while to answer back, but they always answer, especially if they're a private seller. So that's the second way I find deals. So I keep calling it MLS. That's because it pops up as MLS. Twitter.ca, Facebook Marketplace, and then the third way that I find deals, at least online, is Google. So homes for sale near me. And of course, you'll get realtors going to always come up first, and then you're going to get all of your real estate agents are going to pop up. And sometimes you can get somebody, if they'll post Point Two Homes, I find a good site. It's just got a lot of old listings. If you go on your phone, is where I do this mostly, as I go to House Sigma. And I've never actually used it from a desktop now that I'm thinking about it. Oh, actually, maybe I have. House Sigma is an amazing site that it is much like Realtor, but what I love about House Sigma is that you can pull up past listings. So you'll see here, I was looking in Port Colborne because I went down and I was speaking to my brother earlier, and we went down and tried to buy a place there, but it didn't work out. So so you just do the exact same thing. Owen Sound. Now, you would think all these sites have the exact same listings across them all. Generally, they do. However, the odd time I find some that aren't on each other. Mostly they're always on Realtor, but the odd time I'll find one on here. What I really like about House Sigma isn't necessarily the for sale. What I like is delisted. I'm giving away all my tricks here. That's okay. I want everybody to get rich. So I go to delisted, and when I go to delisted, how do I pull up Maps. Like I said, I usually use this. What I'm looking for in the delisted is those are houses that have been on the market too long, or whatever reason they've come off the market. But what I'm looking for is the ones that are delisted because they've maxed out on their time with their realtor and they've come off the market. And if I know the house or I see it on another platform and I know that it might be a decent buy or it might be worth looking into, I'll try to dig and and I'm not a creep, but I am a creep when it comes to this because those people wanted to sell their homes. Now I want to provide the solution. I want to buy their homes. So what I'll do is I'll go delisted and then I'll look up not active. So just delisted 90 days, usually last 30 days. And then I'm just trying to find where I find my actual, well, let's look right here. Here's 5 right here. If they pop up. Yeah. So 5, I gotta relog in, which I'm not going to do right now, but here we go. Delisted 4 days ago. Why did it? Oh, it was terminated. Was it too long? Did they decide not to sell? They decide that someone get in their ear that the realtor was taking too much, or they didn't like the deal? Now I looked at this place actually. This has already been renovated. This was already done as a flip. I don't know if they sold it or not. It's been on the market for quite some time. But that's another great way to find deals is delisted in the House Sigma, and then you got to do some digging. You got to do some creeping around and see what you can come up with. So those are the 3 ways that I find deals, and I find it works quite well. Is just give me a second here. My camera. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I find that those are great ways for the new investor or experienced investor to find deals. So, realtor.ca, use the filters I showed you. Marketplace, always a hot one. Now, I just kind of like did like a really top level look at all that. Just know that that gets way, way, way more deeper. As you know, you say one thing. The other day, I was looking at new trucks, and I was looking up a certain vehicle that I was interested in, or kind of like flirting with the idea of maybe my next vehicle. And I said one thing to Sarah about this vehicle, and boom, it's all over my Facebook, all over my Google, popping up in my ads. You know how creepy that stuff can be. Just imagine if you're looking to buy a house and you say to your husband or wife, "Hey, I think we might sell." What somebody that understands how to use software and understands how to run ads can do to try to like get those people to come out and talk to you and like, "Hey, let's talk about you selling your house." It's actually incredible what you're able to do with a little bit of knowledge, experience, time, risk, mostly time and experience, I guess, and a little bit of financing, a little bit of money behind it. So yeah, that's the 3 ways: Facebook Marketplace, Realtor.ca, and House Sigma delisted ads. Those are 3 great ways that I find ads, or I find good houses for sale. Hope you enjoyed the stream. If you want to learn more, we've got our Earn Profits Flipping course. It kicked off a few weeks back. It's I think we've got like 50 students in it already. It's going awesome. We also have a sweat equity course through Ken's Investor Syndicate. You can like and follow those pages. Follow my pages. I can send you links. You can check it out. We're just trying to help everyday people make money and get into a community that is fast growing, and seeing people become successful through it is absolutely incredible. So hope you enjoyed, and I hope I provided some value. If you need any more, shoot me a message.